Amid the tensions of the Cold War, U.S. intelligence stumbled upon a puzzling sight: the Soviet Ekranoplan, a strange combination of boat and plane. This unique flying boat, nicknamed the Caspian Sea Monster, initially baffled U.S. analysts when it was first spotted. During a routine satellite reconnaissance mission over a Soviet naval base on the Caspian Sea, U.S. intelligence captured images of an aircraft that defied easy classification. The massive aircraft, unlike anything they had ever seen before, caused a wave of curiosity and concern in the intelligence community. Unlike anything previously seen in the West, the giant monster was over 100 meters long and had strangely short, square wings. What could this giant monster be? Let's take a closer look.
Initially, officials raised eyebrows and speculated that the aircraft might be a standard aircraft, perhaps even a seaplane. However, the sheer size of the unfinished product, coupled with its unusual design, made them reconsider. According to a BBC report, U.S. intelligence analysts had a breakthrough realization. Once completed, the aircraft would not be able to fly high. The short wings, while providing lift, were clearly not designed for high-altitude flight. Furthermore, the enormous weight of the aircraft implied an entirely different purpose. It seemed that the mysterious machine was destined to skim the water, not conquer the skies. Surprisingly, the engine was positioned in front of the wings, adding to the intrigue. The Caspian Sea Monster was a different ballgame altogether. This build is an Ekranoplan, also known as a ground effect craft. It is designed to fly at high speeds just a few meters above the surface of the sea, exploiting a unique aerodynamic phenomenon known as ground effect. Ground effect technology involves the wings creating an aerodynamic cushion when close to the ground or water. This cushion acts like an invisible trampoline, providing additional lift and reducing drag. The aircraft actually moves on this cushion, allowing for incredible speeds and efficiency. Overall, flying in ground effect can be an extremely efficient way to travel, as it can increase lift by up to 40% compared to flying at higher altitude. Soviet designer and inventor Rostislav Alexeyev, a major force when it comes to modern hydrofoils, was the mastermind behind this groundbreaking concept. The Ekranoplan was envisioned to be able to travel at extremely high speeds over water, yet remain hidden from enemy radar, giving it a significant tactical advantage. More importantly, in a wartime scenario, it would be immune to traditional naval threats such as mines, torpedoes, and anti-submarine nets due to its unique ability to fly just above the waves. This combination of speed, stealth, and invulnerability made the Ekranoplan a truly formidable weapon in the eyes of the Soviet military. Due to the aircraft's enormous size and potential game-changing capabilities, the Soviet Union, eager to gain an advantage over its rivals, fully supported the project. Leader Nikita Khrushchev, after being briefed on the potential of the Ekranoplan, was reportedly so impressed with the concept that he expressed his enthusiastic support and essentially handed it an open checkbook. A central hydrofoil design bureau, under the expert direction of Alexeyev, was tasked with turning this ambitious vision into reality. They worked tirelessly on the experimental aircraft, codenamed Korabl Maquette, or KM, which would later become known to the world as the legendary Caspian Sea Monster. The KM was a truly colossal project, dwarfing any other aircraft of its time. Its enormous size and unique design posed many technical challenges, but the team, motivated by the promise of a revolutionary new weapon, persevered. They painstakingly crafted massive wings, installed powerful engines, and refined complex control systems, all with the goal of creating a machine that could dominate the seas and strike fear into the hearts of its enemies. The KM, which roughly translates to prototype ship, is a behemoth. Its empty weight is a staggering 240,000 kilograms, and its maximum takeoff weight is an even more impressive 544,000 kilograms, a true testament to its sheer size. 10 Dobrynin VD7 turbofan engines, each capable of producing 127.53 kilonewtons of thrust, are strategically placed at the front of the aircraft, providing the immense power needed to propel this monster across the water. These powerful engines allow the KM to achieve some remarkable performance figures. It boasts a top speed of 500 km per hour, a speed that can leave most conventional ships behind. Its cruising speed is 430 kilometers per hour, allowing for long-range effective travel. With an operational range of 1,500 kilometers, it can travel long distances without refueling. Furthermore, the unit's ground effect height ranges from 4 to 14 meters, while its maximum sea state tolerance is 1.2 meters. In a somewhat unusual turn of events, these flying boats were previously referred to as sea monsters by U.S. intelligence, as the Soviet Union regularly tested the giant monsters in the Caspian Sea. However, once the KM was discovered, the alarm was raised even further. A CIA report in late 1988 predicted that initial deployment of ekranoplanes to the Soviet Black Sea and Baltic Sea fleets was scheduled to begin in the early 1990s. However, as we know, history would take a different turn. In October 1966, the KM made its first flight, successfully accelerating to an impressive 400 kilometers per hour. Despite this promising start and continued progress in testing, support for the project began to wane. Leonid Brezhnev, who became head of the Soviet Union in 1964, was not as enamored with the idea as his predecessor, Khrushchev. Brezhnev prioritized more conventional military projects, and funding for the Ekranoplan program gradually dried up. The KM, while impressive in its capabilities, ultimately fell victim to shifting political priorities and the inherent challenges of developing such a radical and complex machine. It remains a technological marvel, testament to Soviet ambition and ingenuity, but its full potential was never realized. The Caspian Sea Monster, once a symbol of Soviet military might, has been relegated to the annals of history, a reminder of a Cold War dream never really took off. The agency then shifted focus slightly, designing the A-90 Orleanok, a smaller ekranoplan, but still a massive unit, measuring a staggering 80% the size of a Boeing 747. This shift in strategy may have stemmed from the realization that the massive KM, while impressive, might not be practical for widespread deployment. The Orleanok, with its smaller size and improved maneuverability, offers a more practical and versatile option for both military and civilian applications. Further experiments, inspired by the groundbreaking KM, led the team to develop another military ekranoplan, Formidable Lund-class anti-ship vehicle. Weighing in at a whopping 280 tons and measuring 74 meters in length, the Lund is a sight to behold. Notably, it is equipped with 6 fearsome missile launchers, capable of engaging and destroying enemy ships. This heavily armed ekranoplan represented a significant step forward in Soviet naval power, demonstrating the potential of ground effect technology for offensive operations. The Lund's ability to glide across waves at high speeds, while remaining virtually undetectable by radar, made it a nightmare prospect for any opposing navy. In 1975, during a routine test flight of the Orleanok, disaster struck. An engine unexpectedly came unstuck from its mounting. Despite Alexeyev's calm and decisive actions that prevented a complete disaster, the Soviet leadership, in a shocking turn of events, placed the blame squarely on him. He was stripped of his post as director of the bureau, cruel and unjust punishment for a man who had devoted his life to pushing the boundaries of aviation. Fate dealt another devastating blow just a few years later. In 1980, while testing another ekranoplan, Alexeyev tragically lost his life. As if repeating this gloomy event, KM prototype also met its end that same year. During a test flight, the giant machine crashed into the Caspian Sea, damaged beyond repair. It is believed that pilot error was the cause of this catastrophic accident, marking a tragic end to the ambitious KM project. Declassified CIA intelligence report, once buried deep in secret vaults, revealed an interesting and surprising piece of information. The Caspian Sea Monster, the mysterious monster of the Soviet era, actually held the prestigious title of the largest and heaviest aircraft ever flown. This giant machine, a marvel of engineering and a testament to Soviet ambition, dominated the skies for more than 2 decades. Until 1988, when the mighty Antonov An-215 Maria, a giant in its own right, first took to the skies, snatching the crown from the Caspian Sea Monster. These ekranoplans, relics of a bygone era, serve as a stark reminder of a time when tensions were high and innovation was the name of the game. It was a time when the superpowers flaunted their technological might, constantly vying for dominance on the world stage. The Caspian Sea Monster, with its unique design and incredible capabilities, embodied the spirit of this Cold War rivalry, a time when the impossible seemed within reach and the boundaries of aviation were pushed to their limits. The Soviet Union was certainly a firm believer in the power of the aircraft, and experiments like the Ekranoplan showed their willingness to think outside the box, pushing the boundaries of aviation technology. The relentless pursuit of innovative, even unconventional designs highlighted their determination to maintain a technological edge during the Cold War. However, the Soviet Union was not the only country pursuing unusual flying boats. Throughout history, there have been many daring attempts to conquer the skies and seas with unconventional design. One such example is the Italian-made Caproni Cia 60 Transaereo, which arguably reached the pinnacle of sheer daring. This floating triplane, built in the early 1920s, was a truly ambitious project. It was designed to carry 100 passengers across the Atlantic, feat that seemed unthinkable at the time. Sadly, its first test flight ended in disaster, crashing into Lake Maggiore shortly after takeoff. The Caproni Cia 60, like the Ekranoplan, serves as a reminder of the risks and rewards involved in pushing the boundaries of innovation. In a desolate corner of the world lies a haunting reminder of Cold War ambition: the skeletal remains of the giant Soviet aircraft known as the Caspian Sea Monster. Larger than a Boeing 747 and powered by 8 giant jet engines, this hybrid boat plane was designed to launch lightning attacks on unsuspecting naval vessels. Now, however, it lies in a forgotten graveyard, abandoned and rusting. Although now in disrepair, this 302-foot monster was once a formidable force. A marvel of Soviet engineering, it represented a bold vision of naval warfare, blurring the line between sea and sky. Its imposing presence and revolutionary capabilities sent shivers down the spines of Western military strategists, making it a true legend of the age. The formidable Ekranoplan, even larger than a Boeing 747 and armed to the teeth with missiles, was a testament to Soviet engineering prowess and a truly unique creation. With 8 giant jet engines mounted on distinctive front wings, this hybrid aircraft, officially known as the Korabl Maquette, was a Cold War wonder, born of the Soviet Union's ambition to dominate the seas. Weighing in at an incredible 240 tons empty, with a height of 72 feet, a wingspan of 123 feet, and a top speed of 310 miles per hour, it was a majestic and awe-inspiring sight. This experimental vehicle, developed in the 1960s, was designed with a specific and ambitious mission in mind: to attack enemy submarines and aircraft carriers, exploiting the ability to fly just above the waves, virtually undetectable by radar. It entered service in 1966 and underwent rigorous testing by the Soviet Navy, demonstrating its potential to revolutionize naval warfare. However, its life was cut short in 1980 when a fateful crash in the Caspian Sea led to its decommissioning. The exact cause of the crash remains a mystery, with pilot error being the most widely accepted theory. Despite its short life, the KM, or Caspian Sea Monster as it was known, left an indelible mark on aviation history. It remains a symbol of the Cold War technological arms race, a testament to Soviet ingenuity and ambition, and a reminder of the risks and rewards involved in pushing the boundaries of innovation. When the Soviet Union collapsed in the early 1990s, the mighty Caspian Sea Monster was left, forgotten and rusting, at the Kaspiysk Naval Base, some 62 miles off the coast of Derbent. For more than 3 decades, it remained a haunting relic of a bygone era, a symbol of both Soviet ambitions and the abrupt end of the Cold War. In July 2020, however, the sleeping giant awoke. In a scene that captured the world's attention, the sea monster was pulled from its watery grave. 3 powerful tugboats, escorted by 2 frigates, carefully towed the giant craft across the shores of the Caspian Sea, beginning what could be its final journey. Its destination, a stretch of coastline near Russia's southernmost point, where it would find its new home. Today, the once fearful Ekranoplan lies on shore, converted into a museum in Derbent. The fire-breathing underwater monster, now silent and motionless, reveals a fascinating chapter in history. It was a testament to human ingenuity, a reminder of the Cold War technological race, and perhaps the Caspian Sea Monster, with its 4 engines in a row on each wing, remains one of the strangest machines ever built. The underwater monster carried 6 anti-ship missiles, housed in launch tubes on its hull, capable of traveling up to 60 miles at 3 times the speed of sound, a terrifying prospect for any naval target. It was a true marvel of engineering, both terrifying and fascinating, a testament to the daring and ambition of Soviet military designers. American spies, fascinated by its unique capabilities, once believed that the Ekranoplan, or ground effect vehicle, could be used for a variety of missions beyond its primary anti-ship role. They believed it could be used to lay mines, conduct anti-submarine warfare, and even engage in search and rescue operations. Its ability to fly low over the water, avoiding radar detection, made it a versatile and unpredictable threat, capable of appearing suddenly to deliver a devastating blow. However, the demise of the Caspian Sea Monster was not solely due to the 1980 accident. The collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 1990s ended many ambitious military projects, and the Ekranoplan program was no exception. The once mighty machine was left to rust and decay, a haunting reminder of a bygone era of superpower rivalry and technological innovation. Yet even in its dilapidated state, Caspian Sea Monster continues to capture the imagination. It serves as a powerful reminder of the technological arms race of the Cold War, a testament to Soviet ingenuity and ambition, and a cautionary tale about the risks and rewards involved in pushing the boundaries of innovation. It is a monument to an era when anything seemed possible, and the future of warfare was being rewritten in the skies and on the waves. In the 1980s, the Soviet Union had ambitious plans to build 8 of these fearsome machines, envisioning them as a powerful countermeasure against U.S. Navy warships. Renowned naval warfare expert H.I. Sutton described the Sea Monster as both impressively fast and heavily armed, calling it a classic superweapon of the Cold War. Ekranoplans, like the Korabel maquette, use a unique principle known as ground effect to achieve their remarkable capabilities. This phenomenon allows them to move across the surface of water without actually touching it, typically skimming the surface at heights of 3 to 16 feet. Because they fly close to the surface of the water, they are difficult to detect by radar, providing a significant tactical advantage in combat situations. Ground effect is an aerodynamic phenomenon that occurs when a wing generates lift near a fixed surface. In this case, the surface is water. Presence of the surface changes the flow of air around the wing, reducing drag and increasing lift. This allows the Ekranoplan to achieve higher speeds and efficiency than conventional aircraft flying at similar altitudes. The Sea Monster's capabilities are truly astonishing. It can take off and land in the harshest storm conditions, even with waves as high as 8 feet. Notably, it never flies higher than 30 feet above sea level, a feature that technically classifies it as a ship rather than an aircraft, blurring the line between naval and aviation technology. The Hyde, a Lund-class flying boat, was a complex machine that required a dedicated crew of 15 to operate, 6 officers and 9 sailors. This crew was responsible for navigation, controlling the formidable weapons, and maintaining the complex systems of this unique vessel. The United States, recognizing the potential threat posed by the Ekranoplan, feared that it could introduce a new and unpredictable dimension to naval surface warfare. Its ability to glide at high speeds, carry a devastating load of anti-ship missiles, while remaining virtually undetectable by radar, made it a nightmare prospect for any enemy navy. However, the Soviet Union's ambitions for the Ekranoplan went beyond military application. Second Sea Monster, designed for rescue and resupply missions, was nearing completion in the early 1990s. This humanitarian counterpart to the Lund class demonstrated the potential of Ekranoplan technology for peaceful purposes. Unfortunately, the project was abruptly canceled when the Soviet Union collapsed, leaving this promising endeavor unfinished. At the same time, the current Ekranoplan, the incredible KM, was also decommissioned. The collapse of the Soviet Union marked the end of an era for these remarkable machines, leaving behind a legacy of untapped potential and unanswered questions. The Ekranoplan delivered to Darbent was the only one of its type completed and entered service in 1987. A second LUN, unarmed and tasked with rescue and resupply, was in the process of being completed when, in the early 1990s, the entire program was cancelled and the current LUN was decommissioned. After more than 30 years of inactivity, getting the Sea Monster moving again is no easy task, requiring the help of rubber buoys and a carefully coordinated choreography involving multiple vessels. LUN will be the star of Darbent's planned Patriot Park, a military museum and amusement park that will feature a variety of Soviet and Russian military hardware. However, construction of the park appears to have been much slower than originally planned. Instead of starting in late 2020, a budget of 400 million rubles, about $5.4 million, was reportedly allocated for the project in April 2021. Then in November, Russia's TASS news agency quoted the local mayor as indicating that summer 2022 could be the opening date. All this while, LUN has been sitting on the shore, waiting for the museum to be built around it. The fact that the giant Ekranoplan has yet to officially open to visitors, and the beach where it sits may technically be off-limits, hasn't stopped it from becoming an instant tourist attraction. The allure of photographing this unique Soviet-made machine has proved irresistible to the many Russian tourists who have flocked to Dagestan this year due to COVID-related international travel restrictions. Not only has LUN become an Instagram favorite, just check out LUN, but some bloggers have even managed to sneak in. Despite the commotion, the Ekranoplan isn't the only attraction for visitors to Darbent. The city claims to be the oldest continuously inhabited settlement in Russia. The city's citadel and historic center have been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. LUN will add to the appeal of an area that had already seen a number of initiatives to open up to tourists until the coronavirus pandemic, including the launch of cruise lines on the Caspian Sea. When it opens, Darbent's Patriot Park will not be the only Russian museum to display an Ekranoplan. A much smaller Orleanok-class Ekranoplan can be found at the Russian Naval Museum in Moscow. While ground effect vehicles have fallen out of favor over the past few decades, the concept has enjoyed a recent resurgence. Developers in Singapore, the United States, China, and Russia are working on various projects aimed at bringing the Ekranoplan back into service, albeit for more peaceful purposes. One of these is Singapore-based Wiget Works, whose Airfish 8 prototype builds on the foundational work done by German engineers Hanno Fischer and Alexander Lippisch during the Cold War. Wiget Works acquired the patents and intellectual property and began working on improving and updating the earlier designs to create a modern ground effect vehicle. Also in Asia, China's Xianzhou 1 Ekranoplan first flew in 2017, although little is known about the project. In the United States, the Flying Ship Company, a startup backed by private investors, is working on a ground effect drone vehicle to deliver goods at high speed. Think delivery drones, but on water. The project is still in its early stages, though founder and CEO Bill Peterson told CNN that his team is aiming to have it operational within a 7-year timeframe. Another U.S. startup backed by some of Silicon Valley's most prominent investors, Regent Craft, aims to connect the country's major coastal cities with sea gliders, a concept that combines the effect of a land-based wing and hydrofoil technology to glide across the surface of the sea at high speeds. And Russia, the home of the Ekranoplan, hasn't given up on the concept yet. Several projects have been pitched over the past few years, although none have made it past the design stage. Beriv, a manufacturer of amphibious jets, has come up with the B-2500 concept, and more recently Russian media reported that a new generation of military Ekranoplans, tentatively named Orlan, is under consideration. Another privately funded project has emerged in Nizhny Novgorod, an industrial city on the Volga River with close ties to the origins of Ekranoplan technology, where the Russian company RDC Aqualines, which also has offices in Singapore, is developing its own line of commercial ekranoplans capable of carrying 3, 8, and 12 passengers, with more to come in the not-too-distant future. Its design has caught the eye of a group of entrepreneurs who aim to build a high-speed rail line across the Gulf of Finland, connecting Helsinki to the Estonian capital Tallinn in about 30 minutes. Maybe in the near future, you won't need to go to a museum to see an ekranoplan. To stay up to date with the latest developments and news, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you exclusive insights into the world of military aviation. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.